Loops, the Maestro Nui, or the Fatih, be it Dominator, TNX fighting these flanks, or L fighting these multi-man Tremor Smashers, that will be the game changer for either of these teams.
That will be the game changer, and this is going to be the life changer. This is game number 3 between Dominator Esports and Loops. The last time these two teams will see each other eye to eye.
One will make it to the upper stage where they continue their last hope against Vitality in the conquest towards the last chance, while one will lose their hopes and be sent towards the airport.
They'll be sent home, and that will be unfortunate for either of these teams, right? Especially after what they've displayed within this best of 3. It feels like neither of these teams should go home, and they have definitely played their hearts out to this point. We can already see here Vento using the coverage of the brush here to try and secure this Phoenix down to the bot side of the map that only spawns once.
Exactly, so that Firebeak, that Phoenix goes over to the hands of Vento. That neutral objective has been secured for DUNJ. That will be winning this lane in the early game, thanks to the token and thanks to the laning prowess of this strong pick.
Yeah, winning that early game could be the potential here for Loops. Obviously, we need as many resources into Vento as possible, because if he gets there a little bit earlier, he needs his Spark Forge Dagger to make that wave clear a little bit better for the pick of the D-Wrencher. His range isn't necessarily as good as some other marksmen.
And looking at Loop's team comp, it's such a bounce house team composition.
Yes,
so many knockups, so many setup here. We gotta look at DMT. Can they protect their core carries here? But hang on, a 2v2 might be breaking out here.
Yep, the Dream Roll does come through, but obviously we see Guai Yu use the Battlefield command to get back into the top side of the map to make those odds even.
Oh man, very safe approach from both teams here, as Vento here already triggering the first layer of the shielding plate coming in from the farming tower of Dominators Ahem.
Yeah, they've already pushed for quite far ahead, right? I mean, they got to watch out for any kind of rotations here. We do see that L on the Liampo is looking to try and find his way back onto the farm lane, because you can see right now, Ahem is not having the greatest time down there. Constantly pushed under his T1, and nobody is trying to get a gank onto Vento.
But that's the thing about this long pick, this Alwyn pick. You gotta make sure that he gets a safe farming spot. Although, yes, he gets to survive the lane. But once that bot lane tower goes down, he will lose his farming ground, and he will be losing behind on this farm.
It'll be behind on this farm, and that could be a real big problem here for the side of those teams, right? I mean, right now, we're seeing that Loops is lucky to put a bit more pressure into the top side of the map and trying to get that teleportation mechanic come through as well. But right now, we are seeing TNX get dived straight onto Freaks, and that is going to be first blood for Dominator.
Beautiful combo coming in from TNX Mirror Domain into the engage, with Guoyu coming in with the Battlefield command, the ultimate executing the damage. But Unbridled Outburst goes through.
A little bit unnecessary there, right? The Unbridled Outburst baited, a little bit trigger happy on that ultimate.
Exactly. That is a big cooldown expended, just 40 seconds short before the first Tyrant to be spawned in this game tree.
Yeah, I mean, that's intel you don't want your team to have, your enemy team to have, right? Like, hey guys, he doesn't have the Unbridled Outburst, and more importantly, Man of Frieza doesn't have the Smite either, so he has the heal. It's all going down to ABH to get himself down to this side of the map, which we can see here if they want to contest this Tyrant.
And usually you will want to look for these creeps, these minions, or these jungle monsters to stack your Fury. Right now, there is a jungle camp available for Loop's Man of Frieza to stack up the Fury bar, hoping for this ultimate to come back in 5 seconds of this Tyrant.
5 seconds of the Tyrant. I mean, looking at the kind of like wave pressure here, we are seeing it go into the favor of DMT. They have the minions down there, whereas Loops has none. Now neutralizing any lead they had down to the bot side of the map. The Flaming Palms landing onto ABH level 7 as well. Unbridled Outburst isn't going to be enough to keep DMT away from the Tyrant, and all that damage coming from this 4-minute objective is coming through here for Dominator thick and fast.
Remember what we said? Whoever pulls the trigger first will win the team fight. And as of now, TNX is consistently finding these backline engage with the mirror swap into the mirror domain engage along with Guoyu. Immediate, no questions asked, follow up to explode them in the face.
Yeah, I mean, with this draft of DMT, they cannot be any hesitation, right? They have to pull the trigger, like you said, Sagi, and they have to commit with that push. And that's exactly what they did down into the Tyrant. They are 3 kills up. and they are ahead in the gold. That's 2K gold at around about the 5-minute mark.
And that 2K gold, half of it, or full of it, contributes towards Guoyu and TNX goalie here. Just look at the items real quick. 4.2K goalie for the side of TNX here. Already working towards the Hunter Grip or the Master Sword.
Exactly, these are items that definitely going to hurt those more tankier heroes onto the side of Loops, right? So they got to make sure they are building the respective items to make sure they can keep themselves alive and give themselves a little bit more sustain into these fights. But right now we can obviously see that Loops, they just need to get a little bit more motion in these lanes, right? They need to get a bit more pressure going for them in the side lanes.
I'm still waiting for one on this Maestro Nui to show us some hope for Loops, man, because he needs to find these crucial engages to make these engages, but Mirror Domain goes in!
Crucial engages are the name of the game, and here it is, the Unbridled Outburst. We waited for it to catch, and it did. The Tremor Smash, however, was going to negate that engage for the side of Loops. This is what I was saying in the draft. Liempo here, L, is definitely going to be the difference maker in these team fights.
I love Man of Freezer's ultimate there. He really pushed TNX out of the ultimate, making sure that he does not progress even further. But Man of Freezer gets caught out by the excessive damage from Ahem.
Yeah, I mean, Ahem's only level 9, but he's doing so much damage already to arguably the most tankiest person onto the side of Loops, bar Monkey. Speaking of Monkey, a Dream Roll cannot get you out of that board, and those Magma Slams are going to keep you in place.
Dream Roll does not get you out of the board. You are stuck in there once it gets set in stone in Hero's Court. Once again, if you lose a member, your boss gets invaded by the Jing. Why? Because this Jing, the Reflect, the Mirror, increases the smite damage. The further it is, the easier it is for TNX to smite away from the likes of the jungle, ABH.
Yeah, and not only that, obviously, the reflections from the mirrors as well reflects the damage from the enemy team, so that's also going to be a big survivability here. But Flaming Palms doesn't only hurt your enemy heroes, it hurts their turrets as well. This is a great siege potential here for the side of the MT. Infinite Vats that's being used. Very clever play here from Aham. He knew his limits, he got out of jail.
First, Infinite Vastness being cast on. Still, it's okay. Things look super healthy on the side of Dominator as they are dominating the battlefield. The Hero scores with a healthy 4,000 goalie as of this point.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely... I mean, there was 2,000 gold ahead by around about 2 minutes ago. They have now made that another 2K gold ahead as well. You can see here a bit of engage, though. Dream Roll does get ABH out of this one alive, but Mana Frieza is into the corner, keeping himself in the safety of that T1. A very good play, a very good knowledge of positioning here for Mana Frieza.
TNX here playing with Fistful. The Mirror Domain is getting faster and faster. TNX is locked in as of this point.
He needs to be, because I mean, he has no more rounds after this, right? He has to make sure he's playing his best performance on this Jing. And right now, the level difference between TNX and ABH is a whole 3 levels. And speaking of levels, we are putting in the levels here. Freaks 40 had the upper hand. We see that TNX came in, but he may escape just by the nick of time here. But L, Ahab, come through as well. The burst ram locks him into place, and the Flaming Palms gets his grave sealed.
But it's still a good play coming in from Freaks. He stopped so much time coming from the Dominator crew, making space for Loops to pick up this Tyrant that they desperately need to crawl back into the game.
They do need to turn it back into the game, right? They need to try and find some kind of footing here. Loops are just always overextended, especially into these side lanes that have already lost their T1, so you've definitely got to play a little bit more careful, but you can't play careful when you can't see that mirror image. And right now, they can't see any T1s for the side of Loop Esports. They may see a little bit of a way out here. A bit of a team fight is ensuing into the mid lane. Metal Freezer back into the team fight. He pounces onto 2, gets a kill onto 1, but Guayu does go down. That is currently a 1-1 trade. Freaks looking pretty low, but gets out.
Freaks is so crucial with these engages. That looks so bad coming in from Loops, but the moment Freaks entered the fight, it turned 360 and it went back to Freaks.
Yeah, definitely went 180, right? Like
180, yes.
360 would have been like, hey, it looked bad, it looked good, it went back to bad. But 180 was definitely the call there. We'll go over geometry after the broadcast.
Okay, a breather. 15 seconds on the clock. Tyrant Shadow variant. Tyrant is about to be spawned onto the map. Both teams here, they look to plan around this specific objective. Whoever gets it will get a lot of combat power for the next 90 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, 90 seconds is a long time with an Honor of Kings, right? But right now, they're not looking to keep that alive. And the Dream Roam has been expanded for the side of Loops, which could be trouble here. Because normally, on a pick like Monkey, you use the Dream Roam, you use the Smite, you get out. But right now, they can't do that. They don't have that within their grasp, but they are going to still go for this. It's a bit ballsy. The Unbridled Airburst gets none, but it is going to be going over to DMT. L goes down. L gets one, sorry, and Freaks goes down as well. Currently with no kills going off the side of DMT. Dream Roam used defensively as well. Vento going to be the home here to try and keep him alive. Vento gets ganked by L. The burst rank comes through, and it's a double kill for Ahem.
That's 3 down coming in from the side of Loops. They failed the steal on the Tyrant here. TNX played the Mirror Domain to a perfection here. And now they are knocking onto the tier 3 here. They collect the tier 3 towards the mid lane. They look to collect more kills towards the clash phase.
Collecting kills like the Taxman here. It is TNX getting the kill onto Man of Freezer. So front line is heavily dependent on ABH, on Freaks at this point. But that is going to be the second high ground turret taken from the side of Loops.
In a span of 1 minute and 20 seconds, the entire goalie burst into a 7,000 full-fledged goalie. And look at the damage dealt. TNX with the Mirror Domain, with this Jing, this assassin confidence pick, showing up crucial.
Showing up crucial, but it needs to show up at the right time, and this is exactly why TNX got this within the draft right. He needed to get this, he needed this kind of performance, because from day one, it looked kind of lacking. It wasn't the TNX we know, but right now, he's displaying the man that we knew from Season 2 and all the way till this point.
Exactly, and right now, they're looking at the Shadow Overlord right now, but look at Freaks. He's looking for a cap, he's looking for an angle to look for these backline catches.
Looking for backline catches here. I mean, right now, we're just kind of seeing that Loops are just trying to formulate, get as much kind of resources as possible here. They're able to get that Crimson Golem towards the end as well. Give it over to Bento.
And look at this map state right now. If they commit too much time onto this Vanguard, your bot lane is just gonna be entered by Guiyu with this new bot, because the Battlefield Command can come in any time, and the fight might be breaking through the bot lock tree.
We thought we was gonna get a potential good Unbridled Airburst, but the World Cup bot is coming through as well. It's gonna lock down Loops into the space that they need, but TNX goes down for the first time as well. Bento is online. Loops happy to go to the bot side of the map. They don't want to lose their only higher ground turret, but this could be a glimmer of hope for the Chuck BR.
Exactly, Vento lives on strong. This Direnjie pick is so consistent on this marksman coming in from Loops. He is doing so much DPS.
So much DPS. I mean, this is where we needed Vento to be right now, and this is the Vento that we saw in the previous games as well. So his Harley was great. Direnjie slowly starting to live up to that pace, and they now have the Overlord to put a bit of pressure on here.
Exactly, especially while losing 2 tier 3 so early on towards the game. Having this Overlord relieves so much pressure for the next upcoming 1.5 minutes here. Right now, if you're Dominator, you have to find a way to stop this goalie from slowly bleeding back to the side of Loops.
Yeah, I mean, we thought with the Unbridled Airburst was going to get negated there by that World is my board, but it was just the dive in. A little bit too overzealous here for the side of DMT, and right now, they've got to be questioning it. Why did we go for that play?
Exactly. For TNX, he has to find another angle here. For Ahem, he's slowly scaling towards his late game high damage burst long here. So both teams, they're entering the late game. 5,000 goalie, it's fine. It's still fightable for both teams here, as the side of Dominator, they secure the Tyrant.
Yeah, DMT does get his damage elsewhere, and it is going to be in the form of the Shadow Tyrant. But right now, the Dream Roam coming through, as well as the Battlefield Command, is going to be enough to keep TNX alive. And getting a lot of damage onto one. Crucial crowd control, thanks to L on the Leon Poe. But unfortunately, he does fall short here. Still 2-1 trade. The Vanguard's into the top. We still have Loops with a little bit of pressure here. Freaks takes down Jill.
2-for-2 exchange while Dominator comes out on top, securing the Shadow Tyrant. That fight looked horrible at the start, but Gerald saved the day, savaging whatever he can and making sure that they lose what they don't have to.
I mean, they're going to lose this T1, however, right? I mean, this is the problem. This could be the leeway that they need onto the side of Loops. We did see, obviously, the token land there. The Imperial Order from Vento is enough to keep TNX out of this one.
Vento is hitting so hard on this DOJ. He is showing up huge right now. Look at the damage dealt. You have Ahem, you have Gerald doing 95,000 damage each. Vento creeping up as the sole damage dealer for the side of Loops.
Yeah, so I mean, this is already showing. If Loops could see that damage graph, they would know they have to go for Vento, but they have to get past the Zhang Fei. They have to get past One, and One is dying aimlessly here just to keep Vento alive because he knows that is the key to victory.
Exactly, but right now we have to put a focus here. Vento, he went for the full physical defense build as his last few items. The Ominous Premonition, and currently going for the Curious of Savagery. You look at Dominator Guiyu here. He's a full burst mage on this Liu Bang here. If for any reason TNX finds an angle towards Vento here, that could spell doom for Loops.
Could spell doom, but I mean, once he gets a Curious of Savagery, he could go for the Boots of Resistance, right? He could just lock in, get a limit magic resistance just from those boots from a switch up. But that it will be said and set in stone in a few times. But the thing to me here is that Loops is always having to be away from the team fight thanks to this push into the bot side.
That's the beauty of Liu Bang. You get to control this side lane, but you have to be careful as well. If you get collapsed, you're gonna be in deep trouble. And look at this goal lead here. As of this point, 3,000 goal lead, it's whatever. It's 50-50 at this point. It's whoever that wins the upcoming fight. But look at TNX, he's looking for a flank.
Yeah, looking for a flank at the same time is obviously ABH. I mean, we've seen here, Ahem has not died yet once. He is currently on 5-0-2. It's the takedown of the marksman that really is going to shape up these next few team fights.
Look at the map state right now. Everyone is converging on this Shadow Vanguard. Everybody knows that this is the crucial objective to be securing right now. A fight is not the big truth.
We do see obviously trying to get out there. It's going to be TNX. They get the board with perfection. Vento goes down. We were saying moments ago, the marksman is going to be the key into these next few team fights. ABH down, One down, Vento down. We see a wipe, and it is going to be DMT with this minion wave going in the mid lane, quadra kill secure, looking to cement their place in the Group King stage. Maybe just one step away, they're looking to fight another day within the KWC, and it is the IKL second place, DMT!
DMT! Dominator Esports comes out clutch in the most important fight of this series.